Slides are visible.
Yes, sir. Slides are visible.
Okay, so dear participants, it's really a privilege for me to be with you on this FDP. I am especially thankful to the organizer, Dr. Harmratpal sir, Dr. Yadvinder sir, and all other organizers for inviting me to be a part of this extended family. On behalf of MRSPTU, I extend heartily welcome to all the participants of this particular FDP. And as I can see, and I have attended some last sessions, the topic selected for this particular FDP is very interesting, and the sequence of the topic has also been nicely arranged. So I hope that everybody of you might get benefit out of this for sure. What I want to deliver today is intellectual property rights for research outcomes, the insights for exploration. Now, before going into the detail of intellectual property rights, let me take privilege to extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you on behalf of MRSPTU as well as my department, that is Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology. My talk will be delivered in two parts. The first one is what is research and how we can inquisitively think of research from within. That means research is not a fact or not a course which you can learn. Research is inculcated in your practices. Research is what you have been doing since long without recognizing that you are thinking innovatively, without understanding that you are putting your knowledge for conversion into some technology, without understanding the fact that you are involving in research some way or the other in every walk of life. So firstly, I think that most of the participants are teachers as well as research scholars. So my first part of the talk will be research, the quest from within. Why I am taking this particular aspect is that you cannot learn research in one day. You have to feel the research by yourself. How I will share one story with you. एक कुम्हार जो है वो हमारे MRSPTU में आ जाता है और यहाँ पर हमारा एक फंक्शन चल रहा होता है, तो कुछ IIM के स्टूडेंट्स भी आए हैं और कुछ MRSPTU के स्टूडेंट्स आए हुए हैं. तो कुम्हार एक चैलेंज देता है उन दोनों को, IIM स्टूडेंट्स को और MRSPTU स्टूडेंट्स को, और उनको कहता है कि एक पॉट बनाना है आपको, यानी कि मटकी बनानी है, घड़ा बनाना है, और वो घड़ा जो है परफेक्ट बनना चाहिए जैसा मैं आपको दे रहा हूं. तो उसका ये जो चैलेंज है, नाउ दिस इज ए पार्ट ऑफ इंक्विसिट चैलेंज फॉर रिसर्च in simpler senses, that how you will make earthen pot, how you can assure the quality of the earthen pot, how you can ensure the repeatability of the earthen pot, and the biggest question is to maintain and produce same quality of the matka which he was talking. Now what IIM students has done, वो बड़ी स्ट्रेटेजी बनाते रहे. वो 24 आवर्स उन्होंने स्ट्रेटेजी बनाई कि हम मिट्टी को ऐसे करेंगे, पानी उसमें इतना डालेंगे, ऐसा करेंगे, वैसा करेंगे. और उस स्ट्रेटेजी को बनाते 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 पहले वो स्ट्रेटेजी बनाते रहे और उसके बाद वो वर्क पे गए. MRSPTU के स्टूडेंट्स ने क्या किया कि जैसे ही उनको ये टास्क मिला, उन्होंने मटकी के घड़े बनाने चालू कर दिए, और जब भी कोई गलती होती उससे सीखते. यस.
So please click on the slideshow to maximize the screen, please.
Is it good now?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So what MRSPTU student has done is they keep doing the thing, that they keep manufacturing the pots. मटकी के घड़े बनाते गए, गलती हुई, अगली गलती को सुधारा, फिर गलती हुई, अगली गलती को सुधारा. फिर अगली गलती हुई और इस तरह से सुधारते 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 उन्होंने 8 घंटे के अंदर ही मटकी का जो घड़ा उनको कहा गया था उस क्वालिटी का बना के दे दिया। लेकिन दूसरी जो टीम थी वो सिर्फ स्ट्रेटेजी बनाती रही और उन्होंने घड़े नहीं बनाए। माय idea of sharing this story is research does not come with the planning only. Research comes with the failures. जितना आप रिसर्च में गलती करेंगे और उससे सीखेंगे उतना ही आप अच्छा रिसर्च कर सकेंगे। और इसलिए किसी ने कहा है कि कौन कहता है कि रोशनी चिरागों से होती है, हमने तो ज्ञान से घर रोशन होते हुए देखा है। So if you are enlightened with knowledge, if you are enlightened with research, if you are enlightened with innovation, I think that is the best way to keep the hope alive for the future. As far as research is concerned, our particular Indian education system, we have 3 pillars of research. One is the education system, जो हमारा यूनिवर्सिटीज का सिस्टम है या जो हमारा कॉलेजेस का सिस्टम है, दैट इज वन ऑफ द पिलर ऑफ द रिसर्च। देन सेकंड इज द टीचर्स हु एक्ट्स एज ए मेंटर, एंड द थर्ड वन इज द स्टूडेंट्स। The students, why I am talking about, because students are the main pillar of any academic or research activity. And when we talk about the research activity, there are 2 assistive pillars. One is education system and the other one is teachers. Now let me talk about the education system first, how we are doing and what we are doing. Now this is one example in front of you. Many of you might have seen this kind of ring phones where we keep the finger into it and keep ringing it so that we can get a connected call. But nowadays, within 25 years, the technology has been advanced and the technology has been converted into mobile phones, touch screens, and all that. Cars 50 years ago and now the cars, even we are thinking of driverless cars nowadays. So that means the technology has been advanced up to a rapid pace, which we cannot even imagine in this case also. But the third case is, this is a picture of classroom 150 years ago, and this is another picture of today's classroom, almost similar. Since last 150 years, we have not made any tremendous progress as far as our classroom structure, style of teaching, and everything has been considered. Only recently, blended learning, the concept of online learning, the concept of MOOCs and all this has been introduced, but not effectively implemented in our education system. That means the technology is changing in the automobiles, the technology is changing in the mobile and communication network, the technology has been changed in computer science, the technology has been changing in every aspect. But our education system is not changing up to the pace of what it is required. And therefore, how our education system is dealing. You can see one picture on the left of the slide where a teacher is asking a monkey, penguin, elephant, fish, and other animals that your exam is to climb this particular tree. यानी कि आपकी परीक्षा क्या है कि आप सबको एक ही पेपर देना है, इस पेड़ पर जो चढ़कर दिखा देगा वो इस एग्जाम में पास होगा. Now you are asking this question to monkey, he will rapidly do this. But what about the elephant, penguin, and fish? So you are judging a particular person not by his ability, but by your own set of examination. And that is the biggest problem in our education system is our students have so much potential, not academically also, but in thinking, in innovativeness and all that. But our education system is so rotten that we are only concentrating on what they have mugged up. उन्होंने क्या रटा है, क्या वो परीक्षा में लिख देंगे, और उस परीक्षा में लिख देने के बाद हम उनको जज कर लेते हैं कि ये ब्रिलियंट स्टूडेंट है और ये नॉट सो ब्रिलियंट स्टूडेंट है. बट as far as my academic career of around 20 years is concerned, I have felt that the toppers do not perform much better than the average students in life. So that is the beauty of the life. But on the other hand, as far as education system is concerned, we are not doing the right thing. And therefore, one question comes in my mind is, do we need robots? What robots does? They does what you say and not think innovatively, creatively, and not even think of, by their own mind. And that is what we are putting pressure on our students, that yes, you have to say, you have to do what we are saying and not by creative thinking. And that is where I think we are not doing the right thing as far as our education system is concerned. So my thinking is that we have to treat everybody individually, because everybody is unique. Everybody has its own sense of perception towards problem, and everybody can find solutions for the problems given. So they have the innovative skills, they have the component of research into it, but we as education system need to harness it, and we are not harnessing it. The second pillar of the education system and research environment or academic environment is teachers. Now, for teachers, we used to say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraya, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasme Shri Guruve Namah. हम कहते थे कि हमारे वेदों में जो टीचर है, जो गुरु है, उसको हमने भगवान के बराबर मान लिया है. But I am not afraid to say that this is not existing right now. We have lost our shine, we have lost the respect. And there are two reasons. One is the nature of the students, obviously, but the other way is the way we are delivering. If we deliver in the best possible manner, I think students respect us. Our job is to nurture the hearts of the students. But the problem with us is there are so many issues with us. We feel that we are underpaid, especially in private organizations. We feel that we do not have the facilities like army men. Army men retires in 20 years or so of their job, and then they can have the best of the facilities throughout the life. Corporate employee enjoy the food and enjoy the culture and enjoy the environment of the workplace, but not as in the case of academics. And then the responsibility to harness the innovativeness, the inquisitiveness of the student lies on the teachers. So we do not have job security, we do not have the facilities, we do not have the, we are working in a lot of pressure. But my dear teacher friends, I would like to say that हर रोज गिरकर भी मुकम्मल खड़े हैं, ए जिंदगी देख इन शिक्षकों के हौसले तुझसे कितने बड़े हैं. So this is the pain of teachers, which nobody is realizing in this context. But the job of the teacher is very big. They have to nurture the student, they have to identify their skills, and they have to pursue them for the best of their careers, irrespective of what is happening. So, किसी ने आपके और मेरे जैसे शिक्षक से पूछा कि आप क्या करते हैं, तो शिक्षक ने जवाब दिया कि सुंदर सुर सजाने का साज बनाता हूँ, नौसिखिए परिंदे को बाज बनाता हूँ, बनाना चाहे कोई चांद पे बुर्ज खलीफा, अरे मैं तो कच्ची ईंटों से ताज बनाता हूँ, ना मुझसे सीखने आना कभी जंतर जुगाड़ के, अरे मैं तो मेहनत और लगन के रिवाज बनाता हूँ, चुपचाप सुनता हूँ शिकायतें सबकी, तब दुनिया बदलने की आवाज बनाता हूँ. तो टीचर is transforming the world in its contributing ways, in its own way. They are the nurturing the future of the country. They are nurturing the best of the country. And therefore, the responsibility is the biggest responsibility of this particular education system, the research environment, and the innovativeness lies on the teachers. The third aspect is the inquisitiveness of the science. Now, what is science? Let's find out what it is. Science in the world of Carl Sagan science is a way of thinking much more than its ability. It's a body of knowledge. There is very distinguished line between knowledge and science. Knowledge is what you can acquire, but science is what you can apply. And therefore, it's a way of thinking. It's a way of thinking differently. It's a way of perceiving the problems, perception of the problems or challenges in a different way. We all face some or the other problems in the life in a daily routine, but how we think about it, how we find a solution of it, and how will we react to solve that particular challenge is the biggest task, I suppose. And therefore, the science originates from thinking differently. Why I am saying this, I am giving you a few examples. All of us, हम सब ने चाय बनाई है घर पे. Now this chai has a vessel. उस वेसल पे हम पानी और दूध और पत्ती ये गरम करते हैं और गरम करने के बाद उसको चाय बनाते हैं. ये हम सब ने देखा. But if I talk about thinking differently, I will put you an example कि कैसे चीजों को नए अंदाज से देखा जाता है. जो आप चाय बना रहे हैं उसको अब वाटर साइकिल, जो हमने 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th में पढ़ा है, वाटर साइकिल होता है. सन की हीट से वाटर जो होता है वो इवोपरेट होता है, रेन में कन्वर्ट होके वापस वो गिरता है. अगर मैं इस पूरे कॉन्सेप्ट को इस चाय बनाने के प्रोसेस से इन्वॉल्व करूं तो सन जो है वो आपका हीटिंग मेंटल है. आपका जो मिल्क है और वाटर का मिक्सचर है, वो मिल्क वाटर का मिक्सचर आपका ओशन है. जब आप इसको हीट करते हैं तो आपने देखा होगा इसमें से वेपर्स निकलती हैं, और अगर इसके ऊपर हम लिड रख देते हैं तो वो कंडेंस होके वापस नीचे गिरती है. दैट मीन्स दिस गरम चाय की प्याली इज नथिंग बट द कंप्लीट वाटर साइकिल इन साइंटिफिक सेंसेस. नाउ हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव थॉट लाइक दिस? अनदर एग्जांपल, हम सब ने बचपन में ये फिरकी भी चलाई है, ये एरोप्लेन भी चलाया है, बट somebody from us, somebody who have thought differently and invented aeroplane and pavan chakkis for this particular purpose. So we have to think differently. We have to see differently from the perspective of science and applicating it to the need of the hour. This is one of the example. हम जब छोटे थे तो दो डिब्बी के बीच में एक तार लगा के और अपने दोस्त से बात किया करते थे और उसको कहते थे कि ये टेलीफोन है. आज कहीं ना कहीं this discovery has led us to mobile phones. We can talk to anybody in the world without getting any wire, without getting any connections through wires. अलादीन का चिराग हम सबने सुना है. अलादीन का चिराग जो होता था उसमें ये होता था कि अलादीन उस चिराग को रब करता था और उसमें से एक जिन्न आता था और वो कहता है कि क्या हुक्म है मेरे आका. That thought has been converted into a Honda robot, and now robot is doing what you are saying just like a jinn. That means whatsoever you can thought of, you can think of, you can convert it into the science in the best possible manner by using the technology, by using your own ability to face the challenge and think differently. Another example, this is the Newton sitting in the downside of a apple tree. और हम सबको बताया गया था स्कूल में कि न्यूटन के सिर पे जब एप्पल गिरा तो उसके बाद उसने जो है न्यूटन के लॉस की डिस्कवरी कर दी, ग्रेविटेशन के लॉ की डिस्कवरी कर दी. So that means that millions of us, people like us, have saw the apple fall, but Newton was the only one who asked why, and he changed the world. He is one of the legend, Thomas Alva Edison. He has invented the bulb, और जब वो बल्ब बना रहे थे तो उनको 10,000 times he failed, and at one point of time his whole laboratory got caught up with fire, and every record of his own got destroyed in that fire. यानी कि 10,000 बार बल्ब नहीं बनने के बाद भी उनका सारा रिकॉर्ड जल गया और उनके पास कुछ भी नहीं बचा, बट स्टिल ही फॉट। और उनका ये कहना था, एक बड़ा फेमस कोट है कि आई हैवंट फेल्ड, आई हैव जस्ट फाउंड 10,000 ways in which bulb cannot be made. So that means great success is built on failure, frustration and even catastrophe. और जब उनकी लैब पूरी तरह से जल गई तो उनको आकर किसी ने कहा कि अब आप क्या करेंगे, तो बड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो गया है कि आप कैसे इसको परस्यू करेंगे आपके चैलेंज को। तो उन्होंने कहा था कि बुक भले जल सकती है, मेरा दिमाग अभी जिंदा है। तो दैट मीन्स अगर आपके हौसले हैं तो आप कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। एंड इन द वर्ड्स दैट टूटने लगे हौसले तो याद रखना, बिना मेहनत के तक तो ताज नहीं मिलते, ढूंढ लेते हैं अंधेरे में मंजिल अपनी, क्योंकि जुगनू कभी रोशनी के मोहताज नहीं होते। So that means if you have the courage to face the challenge, if you have the courage to practice the science, you will be rewarded for this one day or the other. This is Albert Einstein, and he has said once that the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason of existing. आपने देखा होगा कि जब तक हम बच्चे होते हैं तो बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस करते हैं मदर से, फादर से, ये क्यों हो रहा है, ये कैसे हो रहा है। So that means that the inquisitiveness, that the curiosity of ourself is there, and therefore वो जो क्यूरियोसिटी है, वो जो क्वेश्चंस पूछने की जो इच्छा है, that is required for the science. And that's why if I say that who is the greatest scientist, in my opinion, a child is the greatest scientist because he does not fear from raising questions, he does not fear from trying, he does not fear from getting failed. जब भी हमारे घर में अगर छोटा बच्चा होता है, उसको अगर किसी सोफे पे या पलंग पर चढ़ना होता है तो वो जाता है, चढ़ने की कोशिश करता है, गिर जाता है, फिर चढ़ने की कोशिश करता है, फिर कोई नया रास्ता निकालता है, और जब तक वो चढ़ नहीं जाता तब तक उसे सेंस ऑफ विक्ट्री, सेंस ऑफ अचीवमेंट नहीं होता, एंड ही कीप्स डूइंग दिस। सो दैट कैरेक्टर ऑफ अ साइंटिस्ट इज रिक्वायर्ड, that he should raise questions, he should untiringly put his efforts towards the success of the science, and he should apply his knowledge, his brain, to find out the solution what he is talking about. So my humble suggestion to all of you is that be a child and remain a scientist. Be a child at heart. Live like an adult but think like a child, because the child is the purest soul. And if you want to be in the science, I think you have to think differently. You have to be purest soul, as I must say. And therefore, if I talk about creative thinking skills, this creative thinking skills, which I talked about, think differently, is of 5 major types. One is that you should be analytical. What do we mean by analytical is that whenever you have certain problem with you, whenever you have certain challenge with you, you have to think analytically that what might be the reason of this particular failure, what might be the reason of this particular event, what might be the reason of this particular observation which I am taking, क्या कारण हो सकता है उसका, क्या फैक्टर्स होंगे जो उसको अफेक्ट कर रहे हैं, और मैं ऐसा क्या करूं जिससे ये ठीक हो जाए. So that ability of a person is known as analytical skill. Open mindedness, हमें ये कभी नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि जो मुझे आता है वो पूरा है. We are always a learner of life, and throughout the life we keep learning. So the best mind is open. When he thinks that anyone or anyone else can contribute in a novel way, so he should be open in thinking process. He should be accepting the fact that others can also provide the solutions, and I am not superior than anybody else. Problem solving, your ability to solve an important issue, or this begins with the childhood. छोटी छोटी चीजों में हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है, उन प्रॉब्लम्स को जब हम सॉल्व करते हैं तो वो जो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग अप्रोच है वो हमारे लिए एक रिसर्च के लिए क्रिएटिव स्किल्स है. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आप जो कुछ भी कर रहे हैं उसको प्लान करना, उसके गोल्स डिसाइड करना, उनकी डेडलाइंस बनाना और उनको अचीव करने के लिए डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करना रिसर्च में एक बहुत बड़ी स्किल इस बात के लिए मानी जाती है. एंड देन सेकेंडली, you should have a strong written and oral skills to communicate. You are doing a lot of good job, but you cannot communicate it to a common people or common person, then I think that science is not good enough. If you are able to understand from the perspective of a common man, of a layman, I think that is the best possible way to communicate your science, and that skill is also required as far as your creative skills for science is concerned. Now, my dear friends, before going into the intellectual property, one more message I want to give is that self-belief is the key. You have to believe on your own in science, in research. You have to think differently, and that is not good enough. You have to also think differently and back yourself with your own belief that whatsoever I am thinking, I will achieve someday. As I am from pharmacy background, one example is that there are placebo medicines जिसमें कि दवाई नहीं होती, सिर्फ उसमें अदर एक्सिपिएंट्स होते हैं. और रिसर्च में ये पाया गया है कि इवन 65% ऑफ द ट्रीटमेंट कैन बी डन बाय प्लेसिबो इफेक्ट. क्या मतलब है? आप दवाई नहीं दे रहे हैं, उसकी जगह बिना दवाई की गोली दे रहे हैं, तो भी 65% पेशेंट जो है वो ठीक हो जाते हैं. So that means your mind works more than whatsoever else is there. एक सर्कस में जब हाथी के बच्चे को लाया जाता है तो उसको एक जंजीर से बांध दिया जाता है, और वो जब छोटा होता है तो उस जंजीर से छुड़ाने की कोशिश करता है अपना पाँव, वो नहीं छुड़ा पाता. फिर धीरे धीरे जब वो बड़ा हो जाता है वो बहुत शक्तिशाली हो जाता है, बहुत पावरफुल हो जाता है, बट बाद में उसकी थिंकिंग, उसकी ओपिनियन ये हो जाती है दैट मैं इस चेन को नहीं तोड़ सकता, आई कैन नॉट ब्रेक दिस पर्टिकुलर चेन. Why? Because his self-belief is lost. So, my dear friends, self-belief is the key which can break you or make you. If you have the self-belief, you can make your life very, very satisfactory, very achievable, and also, if you have the self-belief, you can be mentally strong. Otherwise, you can be strongly mental. You can have endless hope in the situation of any challenge or problem. But if you do not have the self-belief, you can have a hopeless end. And we Indians are the best in the jugaad. Why I am saying self-belief is required is कि जब भी कोई इशू आता है तो हमें ये सोचना है कि मैं ये कर सकता हूँ. कहते हैं कि सफलता एक दिन में नहीं मिलती, मगर ठान लो तो एक दिन जरूर मिलती है. तो इसलिए self-belief of solving a problem in innovative way, I think Indians are in the top of the world. Why? Because we are the best jugadi in the world. You can see some of the examples where this doodh wala is delivering doodh through pipe in Corona period, so that your disease cannot be spread. This is one example, very famous example of putting a cooker and turning it into an espresso coffee maker. This is another a very unique, innovative example of putting a mobile on the plug, then the multiple sawaris on the vehicle, and then this is teaching online by one of the teacher using the fridge board. So these kind of innovations you can always put, and India is one of the biggest place for innovation of these kinds, and these are few examples. If I talk about India as a knowledge superpower, we are second in terms of contribution to high quality scientific research. We are 9th in the number of scientific publications. We are 12th in the number of patents filed. We are top exporters of ICT services. We are second in innovation quality throughout the world, second for new innovation centers, fourth in pharma production, and we are exporting to now 168 countries. India's engineering R&D market is set up to $1 38 billion. Analytical industry is again 16 billion. And we are moving ahead as a knowledge superpower. If I talk about the knowledge part of our scientists, of our students throughout the world, I must say that we are doing very better in the world. If I talk about the US itself, 36% of the scientists in NASA, 12% of the scientists in all sectors of the USA, 38% of doctors in USA, 34% of employee at Microsoft, 28% of the workers, technical workers at IBM, and even around 20% in Intel are from Indian origin. So we are the most strong power we have is our knowledge and hard work. And this knowledge and hard work is the key for us. कहते हैं कि सवार हो जाए जब जुनून सर पर कि हमें कुछ पाना है, रह जाएगा फिर क्या दुनिया में जो तुम्हारे हाथ नहीं आना है. So if you are putting your best efforts for this particular directions, I think we can have the best thing in innovative or what I can say intellectual property rights. So the message of the first part of this talk is we have to be focused, we have to be creative, we have to be innovative, and we have to be a problem solver. So you have to empower yourself with good knowledge or good education, and then get out there and use that to build a country of your own dreams. लोग बहाने बनाते हैं, लोग ये कहते हैं कि अरे मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, सिस्टम ऐसा है. No, you put your efforts and you do what you best can do. And इसलिए कहते हैं कि तुम्हारी औकात ही क्या जो बने भीड़ का एक हिस्सा, नाम तुम्हारा जाने दुनिया, ऐसा बनो एक किस्सा. So you have to make a mark in field of science, in field of research, and the beauty begins of science with your inquisitiveness, your ability to raise question, and your ability to find the solutions in the most innovative way. And this ends my first part of the talk, that is the research, the quest from within. Now we are coming to the theme, that is intellectual property rights. And on behalf of IPR cell, intellectual property rights cell at the MRSPTU, I am going to take you through to the basics of intellectual property, what are its types, how we can get it protected, what is the procedure, what is the Indian framework for intellectual property rights and its protection, how we can easily think and find real life examples of intellectual properties, and all this we will discuss in very simplified manner, so at least all of you can understand that what is going on in terms of the intellectual property rights. Now, when I talk about intellectual property rights, my acknowledgements are due to various departments of Government of India, my own department, and IPR cell MRSPTU for this particular inputs. So, dear friends, what is intellectual property? Now, intellectual means creation of mind. That is the product of a person's intelligence, hard work, and skill. Now, you are seeing that nowhere the term knowledge or degree is coming into picture. The term intelligence is coming into the picture because your own thinking ability will put you to the intellectual mindset, and that intellectual mindset, if it delivers something through hard work and skill, that is intellectual property. That means that is created with intellect, such as inventions, books, paintings, songs, symbols, names, images, designs, etc. So whatsoever is originated out of your mind, you can have the legal rights of that, and that property, just like your own house, your own car, your own other properties, intellectual property is also one kind of legal right in all over the world. And we can sell it, we can license it, we can exchange it with somebody, and we can even give away as we do with our normal, जो हमारी रोजमर्रा के जो हमारी प्रॉपर्टी होती है, जिस तरह से हम उसका उसको बेच सकते हैं, उसको खरीद सकते हैं, उसको लाइसेंस पे दे सकते हैं, लीज पे दे सकते हैं, उसको एक्सचेंज कर सकते हैं, उसको किसी को डोनेट कर सकते हैं, सिमिलरली इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टीज के साथ भी हम ये कर सकते हैं. एंड अगेन, as you have the registry of your house, here also you have a patent awarded to you, you have a copyright awarded to you, and you have a legal property, legal paper of that, so that you can protect the intellectual property in terms of legal rights. And one more thing is that these intellectual property rights are territorial in nature. Territorial means if you want to protect your intellectual property in India, you have to register your patent and intellectual property in India. If you want to create it, protect it in other part of the world, you have to protect it in those countries simultaneously. That means अगर आपके पास कोई इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी है जिसका आप लीगल राइट ले रहे हैं, तो आपको उसे इंडिया में प्रोटेक्ट कराने भर से वो पूरे वर्ल्ड में आपकी प्रोटेक्शन नहीं हो जाएगी. आपको अलग अलग जगह, अलग अलग कंट्रीज में जहां उसका यूज होता है, उसको वहां प्रोटेक्ट कराना होता है. Now, what are the types of IPRs? Copyright, trademark, geographical indications, designs, patents, semiconductor IC layout designs, trade secrets, and plant variety. Now we will discuss what are these, but one very simple thing I want to say is who can obtain legal IPRs? Anybody in this country can obtain this particular IPR. How he can obtain? By filing application in prescribed format that will be evaluated. And if they found it right, they will award you the legal right of this particular intellectual property. What are the benefits? Economic benefits, you can sell it out, you can generate royalty. Benefits to customers and society, consumers and society. It is innovation driven, it establishes ownership and provide you legal benefits. These are the benefit of IP registration. Now, first one is copyright. You have seen what is copyright. Copyright is an exclusive legal right granted to creators on expression of an idea. Even if you have an idea, you can get it copyright. Even if you are writing something, you can get it copyright. What is the difference? The difference is that copyright has a strong proof of ownership. That means आप ये कह रहे हैं कि ये मैंने किया है या मैंने लिखा है. अगर आपने कोई पोएम लिखी है, अगर आपने कोई आइडिया है आपका वो लिखा है, या अगर आपने कोई क्रिएटिव बुक लिखी है, उसका राइट आपको तभी मिलेगा जब आप उसका कॉपीराइट अपने नाम पे करवा लें. तो आपने देखा होगा कि एक सिंबल सी के ऊपर जो है सर्कल रहता है, दैट रिफ्लेक्ट्स द कॉपीराइट. सो दैट मींस copyright owner has right to reproduce, translate, adopt, perform, distribute and publicly display of his work. उसका पूरा राइट कॉपीराइट का जिसके पास ओनरशिप है उनका होता है. रजिस्ट्रेशन मैंडेटरी नहीं है, बट अगर आपको लीगल किसी राइट के लिए जाना है, फाइट करनी है, तो आपके नाम पे कॉपीराइट का होना जरूरी है. Therefore, it is recommended in terms of legal values. Then what covers under copyright? Literary books, essay, compilations, computer programs, and all this. Artistic in terms of drawing, painting, logo, map, chart, photographs, work of architecture. Dramatics in terms of screenplay, drama, TV script, mime, theater, all this. Musical notations, not lyrics. Lyrics are covered under literary, but musical notations, the signs of music, that are covered under copyright. Sound recordings in terms of CDs and other devices, cinematography, films, visual recordings, all this you can copyright, so that nobody can unauthorizingly use that particular content which is created by your own mind, which is created by your own self. How we can cover? Normally the copyrights is covered for 60 years, for literary work, for anonymous works also, for work of public undertaking and government also. The work of international organizations like WHO and all this is also protected to copyright, sound recordings, cinematography, all everything you can get uh, till 60 year of the date of publication. Trademarks. We have seen Coca-Cola, Google, Pepsi, Vodafone, all these are displayed on this particular slide. What is trademark? Trade means business. Mark means a symbol. So any symbol which represents a business identity is trademark. Now what is trademark? Trademark is any name, word, sound, numeral, color, symbol, or drawing, or their combination. We are putting some examples. A logo of Google is also a trademark. Packaging of the Pepsi bottle in shape of colors and all these combinations, that is also a trademark. Service marks in terms of Vodafone for mobile phone services, that is also a trademark. Non-traditional trademarks like Coca-Cola की जो आप लिखने का style देख रहे हैं, that is also a trademark. So these kind of trademarks are there, and these are registered for 10 years in order to identify the goods made by a service, made by a company in particular. So these are some examples of well-known trademarks which we see in daily routine life. You can see this, you must have saw that already. So these are some of the examples of trademark. If I come to the essentials of trademark, that should be unique, just like Doordarshan, distinctive, बिल्कुल अलग होना चाहिए, नॉन डिक्शनरी वर्ड्स और इन्वेंटेड वर्ड होना चाहिए, कस्टम डिजाइन्स होनी चाहिए, सेल्फ मेड डिजाइन्स होनी चाहिए, डिवाइसेस और सिंबल्स कैन बी ट्रेडमार्क, नॉन डिस्क्रिप्टिव होना चाहिए. बट व्हाट इज अवॉइडेड in trademark? Adjective, name of a person, obscenity, religious or constitutional work like Om, Ashok Chakra or something like this, common shapes, sphere, rectangle, these all cannot be intellectual property right of these trademarks cannot be catch up. What is the difference between the word TM and R? TM, when you file a particular application, that you can say TM over your name or trademark. You see this kind of sign. If it is registered, if it has been awarded, the brand name is awarded to you or the logo is awarded to you, you can place R over it as a registered mark. So this is the difference between, you see sometimes TM is written, sometimes R is written. This is the difference, basic difference between this. Now, this is a particular exercise for all of you. This particular cube contains 10 trademarks, very famous and popular trademarks. Can you just put the names you find in this particular table in chat box? दस trademarks जो बहुत famous हैं वो इसमें हैं कहीं ना कहीं छुपे हुए. What you have to do is you have to find out and write it in your chat box. Can you do it, please? Sorry, I cannot see your responses. I am unable to see your responses. So these are the 10 famous trademarks: Pepsi, Cadbury, Link, Horlicks, Amul, what has been what has been hidden in that particular queue. Now we are coming to a very famous term called patent. Now what is patent? Patent is an exclusive right granted which provides you all the legal rights for your innovation, for new product or process, which is a technical advancement over the existing knowledge and has economic significance. Two terms: it should be novel and innovative. Second, it should be non-obvious to a person who is known to this technology. That means जो common लोग नहीं सोच सकते हैं वो सोच होनी चाहिए. और थर्ड जो बहुत important aspect है patents का, that you should have the industrial application of this. Now this is very important, industrial application of your innovation. So you have the three terms required for an innovation to be patentable. One, novelty; second, non-obviousness; and third one is industrial applicability. And whenever you apply for the patent, you have to answer the questions that what is the novelty, what is the non-obviousness, and what is the industrial application of your finding in terms of giving up a patent to a product or process. Now a patent is valid for 20 years, starting from the date of filing, and after the expiry, anybody can use that particular innovation for their own use. But again, as I said earlier, it has a territorial limitations. That means if you are filing a patent in India, it will be applicable to Indian territory only, and so on. What are the examples of non-patentable innovations? किसी भी इंसान को या एनिमल्स को ट्रीट करने की जो मेथड से उनका आप पेटेंट नहीं करा सकते, that can be used by anybody of this particular world. Innovation that can have a harmful effect or serious prejudice on a living form in this particular environment. Computer programs, say algorithms, cannot be patented. Mere discovery of new form of known substance, कोई form नया form आप polymorph बना दीजिए, that is not patentable. Mere admixture of something to two of the things or method of playing games, that cannot be patented. ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज का जिसमें एलिमेंट है वो आप पेटेंट नहीं करा सकते. एब्स्ट्रैक्ट आइडियाज या मैथमेटिकल या बिजनेस मेथड्स हैं या Am I audible and my slides are visible?
Sir, you are audible, but your slide is not visible currently. So your slides are also visible.
Now is it okay?
Yes, sir, fully okay.
Okay, so I am talking about that you need not
Maximize the
to
screen,
innovate.
sir.
Yes, you need not to innovate so big. छोटी छोटी चीजों के इनोवेशन पे भी आपको पेटेंट मिल सकता है. Now I am sharing you one interesting story. आप जब रोड पे जाते हैं तो वहां देखते हैं कि जैसे ही लाइट गिरती है तो रोड से रिफ्लेक्टर्स की लाइट आपके पास चमक के आती है. Now how does it discovered? One scientist went to his forest home. हमारे खेत पे जो घर होता है वो उस तरह के अपने घर पे जा रहा था, तो उसने देखा कि बिल्ली की आंखों में जैसे ही लाइट गिरी तो वो रिफ्लेक्ट होके आई. तो उसने कैट आई में जो पिगमेंट होता है उस पिगमेंट को ढूंढा गया जो रिफ्लेक्ट करती है लाइट को, और उससे ये इस लाइट का इनोवेशन हुआ और इसलिए इसको कैट आई लाइट भी कहते हैं. So that means your own ability to think differently can innovate you and lead to a patent which is very
So you're not audible. So your screen is visible, but you're not audible.
in between. Somebody is unmuting me. Okay. Anyways, uh, so semiconductor integrated circuit designs or layout designs, this is also one of the intellectual property right, but they should be original, distinctive, and should be capable of distinguishing between the existing layouts. So IC circuit layout design is also patentable. Designs in terms of shapes, patterns, arrangements, and all this, they should be new, original, not disclosed to public, not against public morality, and not functional in nature. ये सारी qualities अगर होंगी तो आप किसी design को जो है that can be applied and it can be registered for 10 years and another extension of 5 years can be given. So jewelry designs, आपकी जो nut bolts की design है, इस तरह के जो essential features हैं, वो design आप patent करा सकते हैं. So what essentials a design should have? Eye-catching features, new and original, applicable to any article by an industry, should not be functional or useful, should not be artistic nature like paintings, sculptures, ये design में नहीं आते. So one example is out of these 5 examples I have put, what are the designs, industrial designs? Number 1 is it design? Is number 1 a design? The famous Mona Lisa painting, is it a design? No, it's not a design. Basically, it's a artistic work, so you can copyright it, but cannot register under design. Second one, again, second one is what? It's a murti. It's an idol, so it cannot be protected under industrial designs. Number 4 is a trademark. It's not a design, right? And then 3 and 5 is the examples of industrial design, the logo of Apple and the bottle shape of Coca-Cola, that comes under a industrial design. Another comes is geographical indications. It's a sign when a particular product belongs to geographical origin, like Bengali Rasgulla, Mysore silk, Rajasthani Kathputlis, Nagaland mirch, all Darjeeling tea, all these are related, a particular quality of that particular product is related to the geographical indication. So that means that geographical indication can also be protected, and that is one form of the intellectual property right. What are the essentials? That the quality and distinctiveness of this particular product should be related to a particular geographical locality, and that should promote the economic prosperity of that particular area. जैसे दार्जिलिंग टीज है, जैसे मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिए हैं. This kind of geographical indication is valid for a 10-year period and it can be renewed for further 10 years if we require it. So this is geographical indication. It's primarily an agricultural, natural, or a manufactured product, handicraft or industrial goods originating from a particular location. So that is there. And the next one is plant varieties. Now India's plant varieties, these plant varieties can be protected in IP regime, which recognize the farmers as cultivator, conserver, and breeder. This is a very unique example of Indian intellectual property rights where farmer can register for plant varieties also. A plant variety, but it should be novel, it should be distinct, uniform, and stable to be registered. So this protection of plant variety and Farmer Rights Act also grant intellectual property rights to farmers and breeders who cultivate or develop any new variety of the plant. Then comes the genetic resources and traditional knowledge. India is full of traditional knowledge. हमारे यहाँ पे कहा जाता है कि आप गांव बदलेंगे तो नॉलेज बदल जाता है, वहाँ के रिसोर्सेज बदल जाते हैं, वहाँ के सोचने का रहने सहने का ढंग बदल जाता है. तो उन सबको ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज, जैसे कि आयुर्वेदा हमारा ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज था. So traditional knowledge and genetic resources are also covered under intellectual property. Traditional knowledge means knowledge, systems, innovations, and practices of local communities across the globe. And that can be registered under Biological Diversity Act. That can be registered in Biological Diversity Act of India. Now there is a traditional knowledge library also. Traditional knowledge library available in India, where if you have any traditional knowledge, any traditional knowledge, you can register that traditional knowledge into TKDL, Traditional Knowledge Digital Library. It has been set up by CSIR in collaboration with Ministry of Ayush, and the access of this is given to all patent offices. So you can enter and register for traditional knowledge if you have something with you. Trade secrets, जैसे कोका कोला या आप KFC पे जो चिकन खाने जाते हैं, वो उनका ट्रेड सीक्रेट है. वो किस तरह से उसको प्रिपेयर करते हैं, वो किस तरह से उसको जो है उनकी क्या रेसिपी है या क्या इंग्रेडिएंट्स हैं, this can be protected under confidential business information and termed as trade secret. So Coca-Cola was developed by a pharmacist, and the formula of this is still under the registration, legal registration with the company. So this way you can protect a trade secret in terms of your own way of doing things for unlimited periods. So in India, we have offices at various places. Patent offices are situated Kolkata, head office, Delhi, Chennai, Mumbai. Design wings at Kolkata. Trademark registry at 5 places, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, and Ahmedabad. Geographical indication registry is available in Chennai, and copyright office is available in India. You can find out the details of these particular things, how you can apply this, what is the fees, and how you can submit the fees, and how you can check the status of your IP application. All this link is given, ipindia.nic.in. There you can go and easily find out whatsoever information you want out of the particular intellectual property in terms of registration in India is concerned. So how you can contribute to intellectual property? With this talk, I think you must be very familiar that you need not to be so scientific in innovating things. आप अगर छोटी सोच के साथ भी किसी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करना चाहते हैं तो आप उसके इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स ले सकते हैं, and that can be scalable, and that can give you the money as well as economic flourishment as far as intellectual property right is concerned. So what you have to do is you have to be innovative, you have to think outside the box. Don't buy fake materials. Fake materials can copy the trademarks, logos, and the print and the other slogans and all this, but they are not the authentic one. You have to produce and buy original work In this way, you can support IP, intellectual property rights. And again, I am saying that you need not to be very much sound scientifically, but you need to be a problem solver. You need to be an innovative thinker, and you need to be a very good observer of the things. Then also you can have intellectual property in your bag or in your pocket. So, dear friends, if you have any other query, intellectual property rights cell MRSPTU is doing services into it. We are extending the support to intellectual property acquisition in the span of around 5 years. Last down the line 5 years, we have 350 plus publications. We have 20 IPRs registered through IPR cell. We have got 16 research projects funded. 4 technologies are right now available with our IPR cell for technology transfer. And we also conduct mentoring and sensitization workshops for the benefit of a common man, common educationist, teachers, scientists, students, or whatsoever. And if you want to register or take guidance for any patent, copyright, trademark, or something else, you can always come to the IPR cell and at MRSPTU, and we will be happy to extend you the services in terms of intellectual property rights. This is my own lab and contributors, my research scholars, and with their contributions and research fundings from major government agencies like National Medicinal Plant Board, Ministry of Ayush, FITM, Iprs, ICSSR, ICMR, DST, Department of Science and Technology, and my own university and department, Maharaja Ranjit Singh Punjab Technical University, we would be able to feature in top 2% scientists worldwide in the field of pharmacy and pharmacology. And we are contributing our best to the welfare of the science and the society and innovation. With this word, I thank you with the logo of Creative India, Innovative India, that means Rachnatmak Bharat, Abhinav Bharat. So on behalf of MRSPTU, once again, I would like to end my talk with the word that कौन कहता है कि आसमान में सुराख नहीं होता, एक पत्थर तो तबीयत से उछालो यार. So today's talk you take as the basics of IPR, and you start thinking that even you can get a patent, even you can get a copyright, even you can get a design registered with your name, so that you can get the intellectual property rights, legal rights of that innovation into your credit. And I must thank the organizers once again for this wonderful FDP and the sequence of the talk arranged so nicely so that the budding innovators and scientists can get benefited of. With these words, I would appreciate the efforts of Dr. Yadvinder, Dr. Haramrat, and all the organizers that ज्ञान की इस लॉ को सबके मन में जगा दो, कुछ को मैं जगाता हूँ, कुछ को आप जगा दो. So with these words, I would like to end my talk and extend my thanks to all of you. If you have any query, you can ask me, or I would be happy to answer your queries in that regard. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, respected sir, for delivering a very informative expert talk on the topic intellectual property rights as search outcomes. I think sir has clearly explained the 3 pillars of the research, that what is the role of education system, what is the role of the teachers, and the role of the students, or we can say the researchers. The comments of the participants in the chat box shows that the expert talk was really wonderful, and sir has explained each and every concept with full clarity. Thank you, sir, once again. Thanks a lot. Any queries, please? Any query from the participant side? You're most welcome. Please raise your hand if you have any query, or put your question in the chat box. Sir, I think there is no query. It's all clear. Thank you, sir. Thanks once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you and best wishes to all participants. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. So, dear participants, this was all for today's expert talks, third session. Now we'll meet tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. Thanks once again. Thank you.